We're experiencing a loneliness epidemic in the UK. The causes are complex, but can be rooted in transformative social changes, such as our greater dependence on technology and our weakened community ties. Therefore, the way that we've traditionally or naturally formed social relationships has been disrupted.
Loneliness can be defined as a subjective feeling that arises from a lack of quality and quantity of social relationships. This means that even somebody who appears to have an extensive social network can be lacking meaningful bonds. Loneliness takes a huge toll on both our mental and physical health. It decreases our productivity. It also leads to social fragmentation, and we're becoming more and more polarised. The unique structural and personal factors contributing to loneliness mean that a one-size-fits-all approach simply won't work. The strengths of local communities need to be leveraged, and that can only be achieved with a bottom-up and not top-down approach. And this is why we at Civil Society Consulting believe that the voluntary and community sector, the VCS, is well placed, if not best placed, to lead the charge to combat loneliness.
VCS organisations are strategically well positioned to tackle loneliness because they are fundamentally bottom-up in nature. Take Bollyfit Active CIC. Bollyfit's founder Shamim recognised that South Asian women in her area felt excluded from local exercise activities. In response to this, Shamim leveraged the community's shared interest in traditional South Asian music to develop a community of amateur dancers in several neighbourhoods across Greater Manchester. Organisations like Bollyfit possess unique qualities. They're deeply motivated, trusted, agile and resourceful. But right now, the VCS sector is not being properly supported or leveraged. And this is why at CSC we have focused on delivering training programs specifically designed to empower and catalyse the VCS sector to tackle loneliness at scale. 3 steps to sustainability are free capacity building initiative for VCS led by and for marginalised communities. We've noticed that organisations are extremely aware of loneliness and they're keen to tackle it. But we've also noticed that many aren't clear on where to best direct their energies. That's why we've developed the Loneliness Reduction Training Programme.
Making the same observations as us about the VCS, the Campaign to End Loneliness commissioned Civil Society Consulting to translate their body of research into an accessible, interactive training course, which we've now piloted across England. The course teaches participants about the theory of loneliness, how it's caused, how it's experienced, and how it affects people and wider society. Participants are also introduced to the Promising Approaches framework, which explains how lonely individuals need to pass through effective connector services like telephone funding in order to access direct solutions that are tailored to them that are going to help them make meaningful connections, so like Bollyfit. The Promising Approaches framework helps VCS organisations to understand their role as a kind of cog in a community-wide tackling loneliness machine. So from here, we coach participants to develop their own action plans, but also to forge partnerships with other organisations, so the other cogs in the tackling loneliness machine.
The training takes you from 0 to 100 in terms of understanding what loneliness is, knowledge, confidence and direction for tackling it, and forming new partnerships with other organisations. To complement our training, we've also launched our lottery-funded project called 32 Steps to Togetherness. We've come up with 32 practical actions that organisations can take to build connections within communities, but also between communities to tackle social fragmentation too. Because we don't just want to empower voluntary and community sector organisations, we want to catalyse a wider behavioural and cultural shift. We need to support VCS organisations delivering loneliness initiatives. If you're an ICS, funder, or infrastructure organisation, commission the Loneliness Reduction Training and have a look at our 32 Steps manual at Civil Society CIC.